Everyone, it's Miss Bird here. I'm doing a lesson with you today about writing a speech. I hope that you're all okay and enjoy the lesson. So, a little starter for you then. If you had a dream for the world, what would it be? Try and think about how would you persuade others to agree with you. That's what we're going to be looking at today, speech writing and using persuasive features. Okay, a few other kind of questions just to get you thinking then. So, what is a speech? Think about the purpose of it. How would a speech differ from something you've written on Facebook? How would a speech differ from the written word on the page? What are the differences between what you write and what a speech is meant to do? What kind of people give speeches? What type of people give speeches? And can you think of any famous ones? So we are going to use the idea of De Forest to help us remember or help us revise persuasive features that are used within speeches. So as you can see here, the D stands for direct address, the A, alliteration, F, facts, O, opinion or opinions, R is rhetorical question, or it could be repetition as well, because both of those features are heavily used. E is emotive language, S stands for statistics, and T stands for triples or kind of triplets. So if you already know what these devices are, then that's amazing. You carry on and you can write yourself a definition. If not, don't worry, the next slide I have some ideas to help you, but they are not in the right order. So the features are here then. We've got the device on one side and we've got the meaning on the other. As I said with the previous slide, they are not in the right order. So have a think about the meanings, have a look at the device again and try and match up which one goes with what. That's your next kind of task, I suppose. So we've got at the top numerical evidence, which is to do with numbers, which suggests that an idea is a fact. We've got words or phrases which appeal to the reader's emotions. So hint, hint, think of the word emotive, emotions. A list of 3 used to add emphasis. A thing that is known or proved to be true, so something that is true. A repeated use of the same initial letter to draw attention to key words. So Susie's sizzling sausages. A question which requires no answer and is to ask or to make the reader think. We all know that one. That's a view or judgment formed about something, not necessarily based on fact or knowledge. So somebody's view or somebody's. A repeated word or phrase for emphasis to draw attention. And the last one, the use of the word you to make the reader feel as though the writer is talking to them. And the answers, which I have colour-coded for you. But if you can't have a look at the colour or you can't see, I'll read them out for you as well. So direct address is when you use the word you to make the reader feel as though they're talking to them. So it could be you, us, we. So alliteration is the repeated sound of the initial letter. So I think I said something silly like Susie's sizzling sausages. Facts is something that is definitely proved to be true. An opinion then is somebody's view or judgment. A rhetorical question doesn't need an answer to get the reader to think. Repetition is when a word or phrase is repeated to draw attention. So when something is repeated, something is repeated. Emotive language, so that's a word or a phrase to make the reader feel a certain way, to control the reader's emotions. Okay, a statistic then is numerical evidence. So stat, you might have done that in maths, mightn't you? It's numbers. So 63% of something could, 63% of all pupils want to go back to school. Don't know if that's true or not. And triplets, that's the 3 things are used to add emphasis. So sun, sea and sand, or 3 adjectives: beautiful, bright, amazing. On the next couple of slides then, we are going to look at a famous speech, as you can see, by Martin Luther King, very topical at the moment, and we're going to look at one by a pupil, Robert, who wrote something about prisons. So have a little look at the YouTube link. Think about why, those questions we looked at the beginning. Why is this speech being given? Who is it being given to? And what effect is that having on the audience? So why is this, why have I chosen this speech? It's extremely famous. Why has it stood the test of time? So we're going to, well, I will read you the extract from the speech. And on the next slide, I have kind of put in bold things that I would like you to look at. So things that perhaps we're going to look at together. Okay, so go back to Mississippi, go back to Alabama, go back to South Carolina, go back to Georgia, go back to Louisiana, go back to the slums and ghettos of our northern cities, knowing that somehow this situation can and will be changed. Let us not wallow in the valley of despair. I say to you today, my friends, even so, though we face the difficulties of today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. It is a dream deeply rooted in the American dream. I have a dream that one day this nation will rise up and live out the true meaning of its creed. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal. I have a dream that one day on the red hills of Georgia, the sons of former slaves and the sons of former slave owners will be able to sit down together at the table of brotherhood. I have a dream that one day even the state of Mississippi, a state sweltering with the heat of injustice, sweltering with the heat of oppression, will be transformed into an oasis of freedom and justice. I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the colour of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today. What features can you spot in there? What kind of things did you guys find with that? So obviously I've only read it through to you once. I would be reading it through again on your screen. Think about the things that you can spot. I've got a few things on here. By all means, it's not the be all and end all of the list. It's just things that I think that we can pick up and we can talk about together here. So we've got lots and lots of repetition, haven't we? So go back, and look what we've got here, all these places. So think about, why is he using this? So he's thinking, isn't he? Go back to wherever you came from. So the whole of America needs to hear this, doesn't it? So go back to all these places. We've got here, let us not wallow in the valley of despair. So despair is when it's worse, it's when you're absolutely awful. You have no other thing left to do. You've got no other place left to go. You're feeling absolutely terrible. So that would be an emotive language, wouldn't it? Definitely. And it's saying us, you, my friends. It's direct address. He is directly addressing the people that he is talking to here. He is trying to change the view of America. He's trying to change the view of racism here, isn't he? And look what we've got here. This brings him to the first slide that we did. So dream, I have a dream, I have a dream. So a dream isn't something that's real, is it? It's something that you, he wants it to happen. So think about all the ideas of why and how repetition has been used in this. What is it doing? It's making the statements really stand out. We've just looked at the Martin Luther King speech, and now we're going to look at a speech by a Year 8 pupil. We're going to call him Robert, and he was asked to take part in a school debate. So we're going to have a look at what kind of things he's used and what kind of rhetorical features he's used, okay? This brings us back to what we're looking at today. We're going to essentially be writing a part of a speech, aren't we? And using rhetorical features and persuasive devices. So this is all about how Robert thinks that prison life is not harsh enough. Pupils of St Clement's High School, did you know that in Britain we have never had more prisoners locked up in jail than there are now? There is a crowding crisis, which means that our prisons are overflowing. Why? One reason has to be that prisons don't work. People in prisons must sometimes think that they're at a holiday camp. They get their 3 meals a day cooked and served. They have televisions and newspapers. They can play snooker or cards. They have a laugh with the prison guards. How can this be a punishment? How can this be a serious deterrent to crime? Little wonder that such a high number of people sent to prison reoffend within a year of being released. Did you know that 63% of prisoners go on to commit more crime? It's time to say enough is enough. It's time to say we want prisons as places of punishment, not holiday camps. Time to stop mollycoddling these criminals and give them a taste of real price that they should pay for committing crime. All the rewards and luxuries should go. Then prison will become the last place you want to be sent, not a soft option that you look forward to. Right then, it is your turn now. So I've got 3 ideas in the bubbles below, but you can think of anything you want to use as the idea of your speech. It can be about anything. So I've said here, it could be, does television educate us, or is it merely a waste of time? Does it just rot your brain? Are celebrities paid too much? Think about the difference between, I don't know, a footballer and a doctor at the moment. You could have something about computer games or the internet. So is it safe for children to use chat rooms, or are computer games becoming too violent? Anything like that at all. So think of your topic that you would like to write about and think about the ideas for and against it, and then it's time to draft it. Using your mind map then from the previous slide, start organising your ideas. So think about the idea, the sequence of it. I've got lots of ideas on this slide here which can help you, and you can use any of these at all as sentence starters to help you structure your ideas. Anything at all. So I've said here then in paragraph 1, you might want to think about who you are, why you're writing the speech, or go in straight away with a rhetorical question. It's completely up to you. You don't have to write the whole speech with this, but I would like you to send 1 or 2 paragraphs to your teacher for marking. So I've got lots of ideas here to help you with your persuasive techniques, a paragraph structure to help you organise from ideas from your mind map. It's over to you now, really. It's time for you to start doing some writing. Before you send it off then, you can use this as a checklist. So if you've written a whole speech, amazing, that's brilliant. Have you used the De Forest? Have you used 2 or 3 of them, 4 of them? What have you used? And think about now, could you include any more of those features just before you type anything up and send it to your teacher? So on the last slide is just all the email addresses. Thank you for listening. I hope you've enjoyed the lesson, and hope to see you guys soon. Thank you.